Okay. I'm trying to add on Paige and then also be able to talk to you guys. How are you all doing? It has been a while since we sat down and chatted. I'm glad for any of you who can make it at this very busy time of year. I sound very croaky because I'm sick. So, yes, I'm sick again. I know. I just did a video, I feel like, where I said I was sick and I have a cold again. So, it's probably COVID is what it is. I have bad luck, so I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to get on. Okay. I have to find my moderator because she's going to help post some info for this because I am going to be doing a giveaway. I think, Paige, if you talk and you say hi, I can add you on. I believe I can. If you just say hi, I might be able to find you. Hey, there's Paige. Yes. Okay, I feel like you're moderating now, Paige. If you get overwhelmed, say overwhelmed, and I'll add another moderator. And then I'll randomly choose a subscriber that has been a part of the GIC family for a while, because there's a few of you out there that I'm sure would moderate without me asking. Okay, so today we're going to raise some money for MS because I am doing an MS walk. If you're in the Saskatoon area, the walk is on May 28th. It's in the morning at Kiwanis Park. If you want to join, then send me an email. It's just ashley@gardeningincanada.net. Yes. Paige, feel free to just like throw that email out to anyone who's asking. If you want to join me, it's free to join. It's free to join. But it's going to be a great time because you get to walk with me. And it's only like a 5K walk. So it's probably about 40 minutes walk, an hour maybe. And then we're also doing a giveaway. So today's giveaway, I guess, is sponsored by, even though I'm not getting paid for this, but you're going to get a free set of boots. They offer to give you a free set of boots over at rainboots.ca. So if you want to grab a pair of free boots, or win a pair of free boots, then comment down below what you've started, what you're going to start this weekend in regards to garden projects or starting seeds, transplanting, etc. and so forth, and what you want to get out of this year. What is the one thing you want to accomplish this year in your garden that you've never accomplished before? So I'm excited to see. Warmest Ashley live. I'm here for it. Oh, that's awesome. Hello, everybody. Hello, GV. Hello. Christian finished planting some potatoes in the smoke. Maybe that's why my voice is toast, is I was planting trees and potatoes and everything else in it. I'll try not to get out of hand, Brian says. Yeah, Brian, jeez, keep it calm. That, by the way, very loyal subscriber. Brian, you've been here forever. Literally forever. Hello, everyone. Gardening is my peace. Hello from Oregon. Hello. Good evening from Montreal. I guess, yeah, it's probably 8 o'clock there where you guys are. All my peppers, tomatoes, onions, the garden. Oh, yes. Very nice, Mark. Very nice. You have everything ready. I'm going to wait till June. Before I get my tomatoes and peppers out. Like anything tropical, I'm going to wait till June for. So, but like I said, I am doing a walk in raising awareness or money, I guess, for MS. You get the little tax refund slip with it too, because it's done by the MS Society. And Paige is going to put the link out for that. The link is also in the description of this live if you want to donate. And you don't have to donate to win a free pair of boots from rainboots.ca. Just have to comment. What have you started? What are you starting this weekend? And what do you want to get out of the garden this year? What's the one thing that you seem to not be able to get a handle on every year, but this year you're going to do your best at? Me, weeding. And I say that, and it'll be mid-July, and I'm going to be like, I don't weed. Weeding's for no, who weeds? Even though I mulch, I do mulch, but mulching it doesn't always work for me, not all the time. Brian, are you calling me old? I'm not calling you old. I don't know how old you are. You don't have a profile picture. It's just a bee, a blue bee. You could be 15. Actually, no, you probably can't be because my YouTube stats say 15-year-olds don't garden, so. DS have started a huge row of potatoes, tomatoes, salads. I want to accomplish an orderly garden. Oh, yes. How true is that? Like every time you garden, you forget to label. And then you're like, what is that? Like, I don't know what it is. And I just plant it. And then it's like, oh, that's a sunflower. And I put it in a pot. And that's completely inappropriate. But here we are now. That's me. I have 2 trays outside in the backyard right now. No idea what they are. 72 plants in each. So 144 plants. No idea what they are. No clue. I know what's in them. There's nasturtiums. There is sunflowers. There is chamomile. There is basil, lettuce, but I don't know what's what. Some I'll be able to guess just based off like what the seedlings look like, but some of them it's going to be an absolute wild card as to what I'm growing. So Smelly says, great cause, the MS Society. Yes. So the reason why I'm raising money for MS is because someone very close to me in my family is affected by MS. And they got their diagnosis here very recently, and they are very young compared to what most people get diagnosed with MS for. And I had no idea how expensive treatment is, even if you're in Canada. Yes, I know this is shocking probably to Americans, but in Canada, you have health insurance for medication, and the treatments for MS are medications, and so that's not covered by your universal health care. You have to have benefits for that. And this person has benefits, and they have good benefits. They have an awesome employer, but it only covers so much. And the treatment for MS is like something I wish I was exaggerating, but something crazy like $30,000 a year. And it just blows my mind. So they basically use their work benefits, and then they use there's like some government programs, and then the MS Society does some support with them, and I think the drug company does some support with them. But regardless, it's wild. So it's a crazy debilitating disease to begin with that affects so many little things. You have no idea. And then you combine it with the fact that you need to basically be a millionaire to get treatment for it. And it's heartbreaking. So that's why I'm raising money for MS. And I'm doing a walk on May 28th in Saskatoon, Kiwanis Park. If you're in Saskatoon and you want to do the walk with me, it's not a run. It's literally just a nice leisure walk. Then let me know in the comments down below, and I will reach out to you on how I can sign you up and how we can meet up. And we can spend probably an hour together going on a walk talking about gardening. We're going to have a little garden group. So, and you can also raise money for it. It's completely free to sign up for. But if you do donate, it's going to a very good cause. It's going to help my family. We'll be very happy with it. Let's just say that. So, okay, so what else is out there? GV has started brassicas a lot starting on the weekend, transplanting flowers this weekend, planting bean seeds, onion sets, my first year hoping for a minimum harvest. You'll get a harvest. Trust me, you'll get a harvest. If you're watching this channel, you're reading the comments, and you're listening to what I'm saying, you'll get a harvest. Guaranteed. Hello from Texas, very, very South Texas. Hello, Texas. You must be very warm right now because it's warm here. Started tomatoes, peppers, garlic, marigolds, zinnias, shallots, green onions, cabbage. I fear needs rippled. It isn't going to head before summer. Bok choy is harvested already, and radishes. Wormulus said that. Oh, King Jing To for real has a very cute kitten as a little visual. And planted my dahlias, hoping to have hummingbird-friendly garden this year. Oh, that's such a good. I love that. I love that for you. One thing I will say about hummingbirds is the hummingbird feeders. Just a tip here, because my parents have had hummingbirds before, and they like really fresh sugar water. So even though the container's like huge, only fill up like a cup or half cup of the sugar water and then replace it every single day. And you're more likely to get hummingbirds. Just like a pro tip there. They don't like stale sugar, and it does grow bacteria, which can actually harm them. So just a little bit of liquid in your hummingbird feeders makes a big difference. Combined obviously with flowers that intrigue them and that sort of thing as well. So, okay, so we have, what else? I know one, need to seed radishes, more beans, carrots, hoping to harvest lots of peppers, and not seeing success with peppers. I have not seen success with peppers. I'm going to plant in pots as per your recommendation. Yes, pots for peppers. This goes for anyone, anywhere. If you're in a cold climate or a warm climate, whatever reason, peppers love enclosed containers. It's just their thing. When their roots bottom out, they flower, and they're much happier and much healthier than if you put them in the ground. If you put them in the ground, they turn into little trees. They just keep growing more and more foliage, and they never really actually flower. So that's a tip that I've lived by for years, and I thought I was crazy for it. I was like, maybe it's a Canadian thing. But now I know quite a few American hot pepper growers. Like it's quite actually a very niche part of the world, like plant world. They're like the houseplant people, but they just do hot peppers and hot pepper sauce and hot pepper challenges. Anyways, they all grow in containers too, because it makes that big of a difference. So, and peppers, absolute must. Mark says tomatoes and peppers are not settled until June, just harding them off slowly. Yeah, me too. Me as well. Who else do we have in here? Paige is putting up the link for MS. If you want, the link for MS donation is also in the description. Hi from Ontario. I'm going to be filling cloth bag Pampers with carrots and onions, planning to plan out the flower pots, put my Tom's peppers out for a few hours. Can't wait till June 1st. Yeah, that's classic Canadian. Ruth is from Toronto. I can't find a place to garden. I'm just going to volunteer at the food bank garden, I guess. Not lots of availability by the government. Prior to COVID, they had neighborhood share gardens. Oh, that's so sad. It's so funny that like a big city like Toronto wouldn't have community gardens. Like I know Saskatoon, we used to have one by my house, and they got rid of it because a developer took over the area. So that was, quite not ideal. And then, that's just, it's such a, I'd look into look up City of Toronto, and then look up community gardens and look at how you can establish one. There may be like grants or something that you could do in regards to that. I would look at community association wise, like what you can do locally for that, because that's really, that's so sad. Okay, so I've started a wildflower bed that I'm going to try to do new. Honestly, I think I'm growing a bed of weeds. Yeah, Brian, that's, I feel that way too, actually. When it comes to wildflower beds, it's difficult to see what's a weed and what's like valuable. I agree with that. The other one I saw was on TikTok, and someone was calling it their chaos garden. And so they weren't doing like the classic like row planting garden. They were just like scattering seeds all over the place and seeing what came up. And I was like, how do they know what to weed? Like, how would you weed that? Would you just like go with like broadleaf cotyledon plants and then be like, oh, if it's a broadleaf cotyledon, don't weed it? Or like, were they also doing like flax or whatever the case is? I thought that was interesting, because I was like, yeah, that's a great question. Like, how are they? But anyways, I agree with that. Basically do it most my first year doing anything large scale, so I needed. Nice job that you're going large scale though. PSY Nurse says, last night it got down to 34 degrees in western Pennsylvania. Much damage to the trees, peppers, basil. I was hoping it was safe for plants. Agree on losing track of what I've planted this year, trying to label. Yeah, 34 degrees, that's cold. We got down to 3 and yeah, same thing. So if you're just joining, we are doing a giveaway for some mock boots. This is by rainboots.ca. If you want to join in on the free giveaway, you got to comment what you started in the garden, what you're starting in the garden this weekend, and what your goal for this year is. What is the one thing you want to accomplish in your garden this year that you always seem to fail to accomplish? And we're also raising some money for MS. I am doing an MS walk here in Saskatoon, so if you want to join me on May 28th, then let me know in the comments or shoot me an email and I will send you the details, get you signed up on my team. We'll go for an hour-long walk and talk about gardening. And if you want to donate to MS with the tax-deductible little form and everything, then the link is in the description, so you can grab that and help support MS. So, and the reason I'm doing this is because someone very beloved to me suffers from MS. They're very young, and they were very recently diagnosed with this, which is incredibly unfortunate. So, trying to support them as much as possible. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Smiley says, my sister is an MS sufferer. Yeah, it's quite, yeah, it's horrible disease. It's just wild what it can do to you. So, using mylar in a small garden to reflect light is a good idea. You could. I don't know. The heat is the only thing. So while it may seem like a good idea in the spring, you might find out like August, not a great idea. You might be like, oh, I regret that because it might heat things up too much. So do keep that in mind. Oh, D. Allen says, I put labels in the sun that makes the writing fade. Any suggestions on what pen to use other than Sharpies? Yes, I do have a suggestion. Do I have it in the house is the real question. It's called a garden marker. It is UV resistant. And then Permastake. Just Google Permastake or Instagram Permastake. Canadian company, just like a little mom and pop company. They make aluminum stakes that do not fade and they do not rub off. You can use them year after year. And then they also do sell the garden markers as well, which are like the UV resistant. They're wonderful. So, Brian Rissom, do they have a GoFund? MS, I don't think they have a GoFundMe, no. This is like done through the MS Society, so it's got like the tax receipt. I don't know if GoFundMe has tax receipt type stuff, but the MS one does, so. P.S. Nurse is saying, really enjoyed Canadian prepper appearances. By the way, learned a lot. I'm glad about that. Started herb garden from seed. Nice. Gardening is my piece. Good job. Paula Fitzpatrick. I've had MS since 1997, and the therapy that I'm not on anymore are more than $200,000 a year. So, Paula, that I 100% believe. I 100% believe because the family member that has MS that I know, I've went to the appointments with them. I've seen the paperwork that has been sent to them for like payment and the government denying them once despite them not making much money whatsoever. And it's just crazy. The cost of that drug, the drug you need to survive, is so hugely expensive, and this is expensive for Canadians under universal health care. So yeah, I believe it. 100% believe that. Keely, hello good people. Hello Keely. Paula says, I'm still able to garden and walk my dog. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I am so proud of you. And then that is the case for you. I posted an Instagram reel. I'll post it on YouTube Shorts maybe after this live. But I was so sore. I'm sick right now, if you can't tell. And I'm sore from planting trees. So I was taking a pipe and I was using a pipe to pop seeds down it and like plant my corn. It's actually going to come out in the video tomorrow, my corn planting video. I'm going to show you. I'm using this pipe because I didn't want to bend down and stuff. And I was just thinking like, oh, this would be great if you have like a disability, which I did that day. I was like, my lungs were on fire from forest fires. And yeah, so it worked out really nicely for me. So you can always garden. You can always find a way around it, right? What's the Canadian produce that doesn't grow well anywhere else? Canola, but there's not really produce. Potatoes. Saskatchewan grows a lot of potatoes. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, all of them, they grow lots of potatoes. Paige says, I'm in Grand Prairie. I've had tomatoes, peppers, beans, peas, and cucumbers for 11 days now. Grand Prairie, so Paige is one of my besties, and she's the moderator right now. She's the one sending the links to everybody. But it's kind of funny because the videos Paige was showing me, like on her Snapchat here, what was that page, like a week ago? Well, even today. And the sky was like red. She was almost on evacuation from the forest fires. And then today it's like every building's filled with smoke. She's like, I feel like I'm smoking a pack of cigarettes a day and I don't smoke. I believe it. I believe it. My husband used to mix all her seeds. My husband's aunt used to mix all her seeds and just throw them across the garden bed. Yeah, I know. There's people who do that. It's called chaos gardening. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, what do I weed? And like, I know what a weed is versus not, but like, it's kind of hard to tell when they're cotyledons or like they're just the first couple true leaves. And I don't want to, like, I don't like them getting big before I weed. Like, I like to pick them when they're small. So I have onions coming up from last year. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jules says, I've started nothing but the rototiller. Love it. Love it. Love it. Got to -3 last night. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. You folks in Canada need to talk to your political reps to get a deal struck with MS drugs. Yeah, it's true. Very, very true. Smiley says it's 11:21 here. Oh, must hit the hay. Okay, bye, Smiley. Alice says, I started peppers, tomatoes, kale, Thai basil. Thai basil. Alice, I want photos. I want it. I always, every year, I'm like, I want to start Thai basil, and I always forget. Rebecca indoors, planning and starting beans, spinach this weekend. I failed to overwinter my blueberries, so I'll try again this year. Are you overwintering in containers? That one's a hard one. Container overwintering is never fun. Is it advisable to water your garden every day if it's in ground, direct sun all the time? So, that's a great question. It depends. If you have a sandy soil, probably. If you have a clay soil, probably not. If you have soil that's mulched, again, unlikely you need to water every day. However, if you can aim to water once every 3 days, or if you can even prolong it even longer, but not to the point that your plants are drooping or looking like they're sagging, you can actually get really good results. So what will ultimately end up happening is you will force your plant roots, especially in this earlier season, to go deeper and to go find water, go find nutrients. And that deeper root capture of water will help you get through those warmer months in August where you would have to water every day if you didn't have the root stock available to capture water as needed. So every day only if you want to, but I would advise, backing off from that if you can, and allowing the roots to do the work for you, or at least get established enough that they do a lot of the work for you in August. Oh, I don't care. I care about admin costs. Just mean individual GoFundMe for loved one. Oh, no, my loved one doesn't have a GoFundMe. No. No, they're very private about what's happening to them. I don't think they want anyone to know, actually, to be honest. Northern Ontario hoping to put out, so Nikki says northeastern Ontario hoping to put out some carrots, peas, and broccoli. Nice. Jan says a few coleus damaged some impatiens by not covering them last night during a frost. I might just do chaos bed for green for the chickens this year. Nothing wrong with treating the chickens right? Drooping leaves means too much water. It can. Drooping leaves usually means not enough, though. Like for tomatoes, peppers, that sort of thing, they tend to droop, like really droop, when they're starved of water, and the top tip of the stem kind of gets floppy and soft is the other sign. Droopy leaves from overwatering is more just like hanging leaves. So it's pretty upright off of the stem, and the petiole is pretty upright. It's just the ends tend to kind of like flop down. I think I have a reel about that, or a video about it, where I actually show the differences between the droops. I'll see if I can find it and I'll comment it in this, but I'm not 100% sure. Currently have potatoes. Frost killed basil and jalapenos. No, that's so sad. Lots of hostas last night. Lost hostas last night, and most of my apple blossoms. Empty nest gardens. Man, that's the worst. Start a new garden bed. Grow food, not grass. Yes, I love that. Girls, glitter, and giggles. Okay, so my whole front yard is now a garden. I started off with like one bed, and then it was 2 beds, and then it was 3 beds, and then my husband bought 2 more beds, and then my neighbors were like, hey, we're getting rid of all this brick. Do you want it? Because if you don't want it, we're just going to throw it out. And I was like, I'll take it. And then it turned into the whole front lawn in a weekend. And my husband just didn't even question it. He just saw like how happy I was, and he was like, on it, building beds. So we just built a whole bunch of no-dig beds all over the front yard. The whole thing's a garden. Do my neighbors probably think I'm insane? Yes. My neighbors are probably very concerned with the state of the front yard, what it's going to look like. I promise you, neighbors, it'll look beautiful. The other thing is, too, is now that I have beds in the front yard, I'm filming in the front yard a lot more. And so, like, people are walking by, they're in the front yards visiting, and they're driving by, and they're like, what's she doing? Like, she's got, like, a camera, a tripod, like, microphones. I probably look like a total lunatic. But being a redhead with freckles and glasses for my entire childhood and adult life, I, like, the idea of people staring at me and being bothered by me just over my head. I don't even notice anymore because my skin's so tough. But yeah, people are like, what the heck? There's one guy who saw me, he's like, hello. I was like, hi. It's like he felt like he walked in on something, and he was like, what did I just walk in on? You walked in on me YouTubing, folks. She's talking to her plants. Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Keely, that was you that said that. You're like, you said I was having a business meeting or something, because those are my employees. It's kind of funny. When should you fertilize strawberries? Okay, so strawberry fertilization, perennial fertilization in general, whether it's hostas or trees, needs to take place when you're beginning to see new growth, or relatively rapid spurts of growth. So if you're noticing lots of greenery, lots of sprouting, then it's time to start to fertilize. You don't want to do it before that, because you don't run the risk of harming the plant, but it's a waste of money, because it just will volatilize off, it'll leach, etc. and so forth. So I like to wait till there's some new growth, and just fertilize as needed, like whatever the packaging is telling you to do. No more, no less. This goes for organic and conventional. Even though you can't burn with organic, you can pollute with organic fertilizer, so do keep that in mind. Med said, I have a question. I'm from Winnipeg. Is there an ambrosia apple I can grow here? Okay, so this goes for anyone that's trying to get like fruiting plants in their area that work well. Go to your local university. So for you in Winnipeg, it'd be University of Manitoba. Go to their horticulture department and ask for the cultivars they have for sale, or ask where their cultivars that they've made are for sale. Other one you could do is University of Saskatchewan has literally a program meant to design fruiting bush or fruiting trees specifically to the prairies. So U of S does this. They sell them, the cultivars from this, across Canada. And they sell them at greenhouses as like entire plants, you name it. Get them, seriously. Even if you're in the US, like if you're just below us in the US, you're a colder zone in the US, they are probably the most prolific cold climate berry tree, bush, anything. I got a cherry tree from them. It's called the Romeo Juliet series. They bred it for my climate. Cherries here usually are very sour and pretty much disgusting, like choke cherry. Think choke cherry. That's what all cherries are. These cherries they design are like cherries. They're like an actual cherry. It's like a little miniature tree, and it's designed for my zone. And it's just for breeding. That's how they do it. And it works wonderfully. So if you're looking for ambrosia apple, for example, I think there's one that's called Prairie Pride. Don't quote me on that though. I believe it's called Prairie Pride. It was designed by people who were meant to, by cultivars for this cooler zones in the prairies. Canadian Tire sells it. I'm like 99% sure because I swear I saw one at the Canadian Tire here in Saskatchewan. So, see, girls in glitter. Yes. U of S sale goes on live Friday 19th, May 19th. So make sure you jump in on that. Does Kale prefer part sun or full direct sun? Part sun. I put Kale in direct sun and it burns, and it also doesn't get very big. It kind of stays like really compact and the leaves stay very small. If you want like nice big Kale leaves, part sun. Actually, mine are almost in part shade. So they get morning sun, afternoon shade. That's where my Kale does best, and it does really good in like just one really specific area of my yard. So do keep that in mind. But if you're just joining in now, I am doing a giveaway for some grub boots. All you gotta do is comment down below. These boots are you gotta comment down below what you've already put outside, what you're gonna put outside, and what's the one thing in your garden that you want to achieve this year. And that is sponsored by rainboots.ca. So if you just want to grab some grub boots, because they're great garden boots, because this is very key here. This is waterproof up here, water resistant, and it's like a fabric that allows air to move through, and it's wonderful. If you have calves made of steel like I do, because of years of cycling and soccer and running, your calf fits in here very nicely. If you got thick woman calves, because women boots don't normally fit very well, so do keep that in mind. Okay, so we're doing a giveaway for that. Comment down below what I said before. Secondly, we're raising money for MS awareness. So I'm doing an MS walk here in Saskatoon, May 28th at Kiwanis Park. If you want to join me on the walk and be on my team, then let me know in the comments down below, and I will reach out to you on how to get a hold of me to sign you up on my team. Completely free to sign up, folks. Completely free to like literally walk with me and talk about gardening for an hour. Completely free. So you can do that for free. Or if you want to actually donate, Paige has the link, and you just have to say, I need the MS link, and then Paige is going to shoot it off in your direction, because I think there was a little bit of a glitch, and Paige has officially fixed it. I believe. Right, Paige? We fixed it. If not, the link is in the description. Okay, so we got empty nest gardener Brussels sprout question. I left the roots in the ground last fall. The darn thing is growing. Oh, that's a great question. I think so. I'm not sure. I actually have no idea. What would that do? I think you could. Yeah. There's no reason why you can't. It's a brassicaceae, so it's just gonna do its thing. Yeah, I think you can. The only concern with the Brussels sprout is it may flower. And then you'd have like kind of bitter, well, not that that's not already bitter, but it'd be substantially more bitter Brussels sprout, I think. Tantram, awesome channel. Thanks for everything. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, truly. This time of year on YouTube is like a love-hate for me because everyone who's a part of the Geek fam, they're like getting into it. They're getting into gardening. They're super stoked. Everyone's like tossing out ideas, having a great time. But then it also just like random activity of the internet kicks up for gardening. And so sometimes I get some like real nasty people on my videos, and I'm like, ooh, where'd that comment come from? But comments like that make my day. Make my day. Carpenter Kathy, I love your information, very helpful. Cucumbers are my thing. I love to eat them every day. Getting better at growing them. Yes, cucumbers. I agree. That's like one thing. You can make salads with it. You can eat them raw. That's a great fruit. Please send me the MS link. I was diagnosed years ago, so definitely up my alley. That is Anne Gary 2006 page. If you can send that to them. I'm sorry to hear that. I have someone very close to me in my family that was recently diagnosed with MS, and they are very young. They're younger than I am, and it's horrible. It's changes your life. So I am doing this for them. Okay. Cover Kathy, first time on the live chat. Yeah. Turned over to raised garden last year. The soil I thought was good. Soil turned out to have nutrients of the tap water, added sea soil, and wow, what a difference. Awesome. Oh, Prep Rebel, thank you so much. I'll make sure that gets to the right spot for you. That is so kind. I want to be able to actually grow tomatoes that produce fruits. Oh. Okay, so if you're growing tomatoes and they're not usually fruiting, sun. I would seriously look at how much sun you're getting because that's one thing. They need a ton of sun. I plan to grow sesame seeds, Dream Lover Mimi. Okay, so I saw that on West Coast Seeds website today because I was like doing some seed shopping, and I saw black sesame seed plants. I was like, that is so cool. B, I bought them because I think that's just the neatest thing. And black sesame seeds are apparently like super expensive to buy, so I'm excited to grow the plants for them. Nightcrawler says all greens, tomatoes, and peppers are going in Friday. Goals this year is to create a new garden and prepare it for next year. Yes, good job. Expansion. Everyone say it together. Expansion of the garden. That's our only goal in life. Okay. Oh, Alice is saying, at Kay, you got this. Good luck. Yes, Kay, you got this. You got this. I've learned to plant cucumbers 2 weeks apart to have a continual harvest until frost. Yes. Yep. That lettuce is another one. Kale, collard greens are another one. I guess kale, it depends. Like you could just plant once. Kale I would start again mid-summer if that makes sense. So I have like more of a winter crop. Arugula and spinach are another one that I like to start. Who else is in here? Every year my garden gets bigger, BG says. Yes, mine too. Mine too. I was like talking to my husband. I was like, I'm gonna put another garden spot here. He's like, don't you have enough garden spots? I'm like, was that a question or was that like, or are you just trolling me? Tomatoes have already flowered. Ooh, very nice. Zan growing black cherry tomatoes, zucchinis, carrots, beets, lettuce, arugula, beans, squash, and corn. Very nice. Can you hot compost in Canada? My compost always seems to freeze solid. You can only in the summer. Composting in Canada is incredibly complicated. So it's like one of those things where I will use it in my worm bin. Don't get me wrong. So I'll do it in my worm bin, and then I will use my electric composter, which people like absolutely despise for some reason. But I feel like the reason why people don't maybe understand an electric composter is because they have the privilege of being able to compost all winter long without like rodents and stuff coming along and eating everything. I don't have that luxury. So I do use my electric compost, and then bokashi composting I do as well. Although I'm kind of getting tired of like stacking up all these pails throughout the winter and then they freeze solid. So I am starting to phase out bokashi because it's just not practical to me. But yeah, I do hot compost. I do 3-stage compost as well. So I should maybe do a video on that. Mark said started carrots 3 types. Yes, absolutely. Always got to start different types because you'll figure out what type does best in your garden. Very important. Potatoes, kales, turnips, pumpkins, 2 types. Well done. Zucchini, beets, 3 types. Well done. Butternut squash, table queen squash. Hey, I did those this year too. That's my first year doing them. I'm actually super excited for those. And then we have Haskell's peas and 100 by 100 foot garden. Very, very nice. You should get perennials. I watched your video on rooting hormone IBA recently. I loved it. Plants in jars. Oh, I'm glad. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, there's sometimes people really like the nerdy videos, and then sometimes people are like, not so much. I'm not into that. So I do like to put, spices of science in all over the place. So super stickers, that would be a great way to get your femme direct. Yeah, that's true. The super stickers. Yeah, that's Carpenter Kathy. I've never seen that before, actually. I don't do live streams very often, but like that's kind of cute. It's like a little, is that a chicken? I think it's just like a thing, like an avatar, like giving me a heart. It's cute. It's adorable. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Our weather's all over the place too, so, but okay, guys, I'm going to shut this down. My throat is like done. I don't know if I'm sick or if it's from forest fire smoke, but I'm toast. And if I'm going to have to film videos this weekend, I'm going to need to save my voice. Thank you so much for helping me raise money for MS. If you're watching the replay on this, just the link is open. It's open till May 28th. I got one response asking to join in at Kiwanis Park May 28th in Saskatchewan. We're going to walk and talk plants. So I will just email you or I'll send you a message under your message. All I'm going to ask you to do is literally just email me. It's ashley@gardeningincanada.net. You can send me an email there. And then $20, Brian, holy macaronis, with a fox and a number 1 flag. Oh, my family's going to love this. This is so awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, you guys are so kind. You're going to make me cry. I already said that to myself. I was like, I can't cry in this video because like someone I'm very close to is suffering with this. But now you guys are just going to butter me up and make me want to shed some tears. I'm also, astrologically, I'm a Cancer. So, like, when it comes to crying, like, I am it. Like, I'm the cry baby is who I am. So, oh, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to start doing lives much more regularly now that we're finally growing. Tomorrow's video is on corn because you guys had so much trouble last year with corn. So I'm going to show you how to plant it so you actually get corn this year. Some tips and tricks on that. So go check that out. And as always, let me know in the comments down below. Video ideas. I need them. I want to know what you guys want to know. I'm going to be doing some soil testing this weekend. Show you different kits you can use. I'm going to be doing some other tips and tricks for hardening off when you have a full-time job like myself. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. My voice is gonna be just junk in those videos as well. I already apologize for it. And yeah, so, oh my goodness. Okay, so Dream Lover Mimi, it blocked it because of the swear word, but she's like, cancers, oh my God, they always effing cry. It's so true. We're crybabies. It's like a real thing. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Many of you are on it, showing your guys' tips and tricks and videos and photos. And it's a great community space. If you're just trying to learn to garden, you don't have to be Canadian to join that Facebook group. You just have to be a gardener. That's it. So be sure to do that. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.